Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality back with you today to go over some news of who really cares. Like, pretty much my reaction at this point could be that classic Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear reaction of the, oh no. Anyway, pretty much. So let's go over this from Breitbart News. This is from May 1st. As Hollywood writers go on strike, late night comedy shows including Jimmy Kimmel hit hardest. Oh no. Come back. Anyway, article goes on. It says, Hollywood writers walked off the job late Monday after the major studios failed to reach a new contract with the Writers Guild of America, throwing numerous TV shows and streaming series into jeopardy. Among the hardest hit will be the late-night comedy shows, including those hosted by Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, who rely on teams of writers to think up their nightly monologues in which they frequently rail against conservatives and all things Trump. Yeah, that must be really hard to do. So, yeah, I don't really have an issue with this, and hopefully, when they come back, if they come back, I'm sure they will, they come back with some actual talent. So let's keep going. It says the Writers Guild of America authorized a strike Monday night after the negotiations with the studios and networks failed to produce an agreement. It will mark the first time Hollywood writers have walked off the job since the 2007-2008 strike. I remember that very well, which lasted 3 months and brought the industry to a virtual standstill. And God only hopes it does this time. So the Hollywood Reporter embedded tweet here says the Writers Guild calls for a strike in 15 years after negotiations with labor group representing studios and streamers falters. Okay. We'll go past that. Keep going past all these ads. All right. It says Hollywood writers who could start picketing studios as early as Tuesday are demanding more generous compensation as the streaming revolution continues to take over the industry. The Guild has argued that the shorter seasons favored by streaming services, with most shows having 10 or fewer episodes per season, has been detrimental to writers who must find work on multiple shows to make ends meet. I think I don't know if this article goes in. Okay, there's only a couple more paragraphs, so it doesn't go into what I was just about to say, which is that I think I saw something on Twitter recently that said about the writers, like what their salaries were. And let's just say that if you're any person like me and looking at those salaries, you're going to be like, you guys are complaining about that? Like you can't make ends meet on that? That's like upper 1% of the country type salaries that you guys are making. If I'm remembering the correct thing. But Jesus, like it's ridiculous. But if they have to work on more than one show, fine. But at the same time, like, let's get people with actual talent back in there, because the writing quality on a lot of TV shows is just shit today. Okay. Like, I know they all want to throw overtly leftist, not necessarily liberal, but leftist things into their shows, and they can't even hide that very well. It's just, no, we're going to shove it down your throat. If you can hide it, okay, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm a fan of things after the fact where, like, if somebody was to come to me and be like, hey, you know that movie or TV show you watched or that episode, like, it was actually about this, I'd be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That was actually very well done, regardless of the political side of the aisle that it's on. But if it's a TV show and they're just basically saying, like, kicking you in the head repeatedly about, you need to believe this, and if you believe something else, you're the bad guy. It's like, you guys don't know what you're doing. Okay, and that's just going to turn people off. So let's just finish up with the article. There's not a whole lot left. It says streaming has also decreased the residuals writers get paid for their work on TV shows, since reruns and syndication are no longer as prevalent as they once were. I wonder why that is. I did not know that. All right. I mean, if someone out there listens to this and can tell me about why that is, I mean, that would just be an interesting thing to know. So the complaints are similar to the ones the Guild made during the last negotiation in 2017, when Hollywood averted a writer's strike at the last minute. I vaguely remember that. I definitely remember the one from 2007-2008 when kind of like half the shows I was watching just suddenly ended. But I vaguely remember the 2017 last minute thing. Anyway, it says in addition to late night comedy shows, network series that are scheduled to begin taping this summer for a fall air date are also facing uncertainty. In some cases, writers have handed in their scripts early in anticipation of the strike. It says the WGA represents tens of thousands of Hollywood writers as well as some newsrooms, including MSNBC, where the Guild represents news writers, producers, and fact checkers. It remains unclear how this strike will impact the far left cable news network's daily operations. I'm sorry, before I go back, it says the WGA also represents workers at the left-wing Slate, HuffPost, and Vox Media. Those are leftist websites. They're not left-wing necessarily. They're leftist. They are far left. Okay, same with MSNBC. And can this strike just put them all out of business? I mean, is that too much to ask? Can we just forget about them and just, move on with our lives? But speaking, I wanted to go back to, where was it? We're talking about the late night TV hosts. They're all basically SOL, shit out of luck on this. Excuse me, not cutting that out. But yeah, I mean, I used to, before I really started looking into political stuff more, which was probably around the spring of maybe 2018, though I started in 2017 really looking for alternate entertainment on YouTube. And at the time that I did, I was subscribed to all the pages for all those late night hosts because they were genuinely funny, and the stuff wasn't really about Trump, at least in like the 2016 area. And then after Trump hit, they all got a collective case of Trump derangement syndrome. You know, TDS hit them hard. And I just was like, no, I'm not watching this anymore. I unsubscribed from all of their channels. And even the clips that I see now are painful to watch. And it's like these guys have decided that we're not going to be funny. We're not going to have people on whose shows you care about. We're going to actually bring on like all these politicians. And notice that like all of the politicians are on the left. There's no Republicans that are going on those shows. So yeah, I mean, so it's completely one-sided. And a lot of the stuff that they rail on about is just pure propaganda. I mean, go watch Colbert during COVID and the stuff that this guy was doing. I mean, for a supposed comedian, he just kind of went full on like, Goebbels mode, for lack of a better reference to make. But yeah, so I'm not. This doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. If they come back again, I'm sure they will make better content. For everybody to watch. I mean, there's a reason why I watch like a fraction of the amount of stuff I used to just 5 or 6 years ago. And like, this is one of those things that's just like, I don't really care. Let it go. Let it go forever as far as I'm concerned. But what do you guys think about this? Is this something that bothers you a lot? Do you give a crap at all? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.